Hey guys, welcome back to Packer's Corner, and this is Troy. Thought I'd make a quick video. I had a few people ask me a few questions about, choosing cards to send into PSA. What are some attributes about the cards that I should look for when I'm buying them, whether it be on eBay or whether it be on any other auction site, the pit, whatever, my local card shop. What should I notice about the cards to see if it's worthy of sending it in? So I thought I'd just take a real quick shot at that. There's really four things you need to look at when you're choosing a card to send into PSA to be graded, whether or not, even if it's something that you really enjoy. How can I make sure it's a high grade? And these are the four things you want to look for. Number one, you want to make sure the corners are good. The corners is very important. You want them to be crisp and a sharp cut. You don't want it to be tipped up a little bit or flaking. You want the edges to be good. You want to literally look at the edges from side to side, top to bottom. The centering needs to be good. In fact, if it's too far to one side or too far to the other side, is it towards the center? I mean, I even take out a ruler and start measuring with millimeters to see how close they are. And this last one, surface, is a major thing that you want to look at. The surface of the card, literally angle it in the light and see if there's any scratches or any dings on it or stuff like that. And I'm going to address these four here really quick to kind of give you a better idea of what to look for. Now, these four actually PSA does use, and I know that Beckett uses. In fact, using a BGSC card as an example, you will see here on the top of the card, they actually tell you centering, edges, corners, and surface. I like how BGS does that. Not that I'm against BGS cards, I just prefer PSA, but BGS does a good job of telling you what's the problem with the card. PSA doesn't tell you, but they use the same categories to do it. So to show you what I do, first of all, let's say I find some cards, I'm at a card shop or I'm searching on eBay. Let's say I'm looking for, being a Packer fan, an Aaron Rodgers card. In fact, I've been doing a little Aaron Rodgers shopping lately, and I'll use my examples here, a wide variety of Aaron Rodgers cards. In fact, I don't know if I can zoom in and show you guys these cards. I just personally got them. I'll be sending them to eBay this month here. First of all, I've got his normal everyday rookie. I've got the next level, which is actually number 599. That's the holofoil. I've got the Ruby edition. It's numbered to 199. And I also went ahead and bought the next edition on that, which is a blue card. I think it's Sapphire. It's numbered to 150, and I'm trying to collect all of them. But let's say I find one of these cards on eBay. Well, how do I know if it's good or not? Well, the first thing I end up doing, if you're looking at it on eBay, go ahead and if you go to the right bottom of your screen, you will see how much it's magnified, usually like 100%. I go ahead and actually click on that little arrow next to it and make it 200. Look at the edges the best way you can if it's on eBay. Look at the centering of it. I mean, when you blow it up to 200 on your screen, you'll be able to slide it back and forth and see a little bit better what the edges look like. Look at the centering. I literally have a ruler, and I'm not sure if my daughter's grabbed my ruler. I take a ruler out and I'll lay it on the screen and I'll measure it just to see, is it centered? Using the Aaron Rodgers card here, you will see here that with this card, I can tell by the way it looks that the side from this to the little yellow and this side from the little yellow, it is very, very even. In fact, before I bought it, I even measured it. I was going to buy it even if it wasn't fully centered, but I measured the edges so I see that the centering was right. And then, of course, the bottom to the top, I measured to see, does it look right? So that was the first thing I did to make sure it was good. The second thing I did was, again, I magnified it. I magnified and I looked at the corners. On eBay, you're kind of taking a shot in the dark. You're not sure what you're going to get every time. You may end up getting a card that, once you get it in the mail, is not what you thought it was. What I usually do, and this might be something that you guys might want to do, I have gone out and I had a buddy of mine get me one of these. And what this is, it's actually a magnifying glass. It's got a little light there. So what I end up doing is I end up taking my card and I actually take it out of the package and I zoom in as close as I can and I look at the corners and I go across and I look at the edges because I want to see how good is this card. I want to see how good it is. I flip it on the back side, do the same exact thing. I believe you could probably pick up something like this, maybe not a pop-up one like this, but you could pick this up at Walmart for $5. If you have a coin shop in your area, the coin shops sell these for not too much, but this has really helped me sending cards that are worthy of grading, because that way, out of the two categories, edges and corners, this little item here will end up letting you do it So because you can zoom it on in and you can actually see, like you see right in the picture there, that corner is really crisp. If I go across here, you'll see the edge is really crisp. That corner there, really crisp. And so this little doozy here will help you on that. The other one is surface. When you want to do surface, you literally hold the card in the light and you try and tilt it. Let me see if I can do this here. Tilt it, and I look at it at the edge, and I want to go back and forth to see if there happens to be any lines on it, creases, and something I don't know. In fact, this one right here, which is the Ruby edition that I'm going to be sending in, I decided I'm going to go ahead and do it. I don't know if you can see it on there, but as I tilt this over back and forth, there is a actual refraction line right across here, and I tilted this thing. And what's funny is I don't know if it's on the card itself. It looks like it'd be a line across it, but I figured out what it is actually part of the refracting piece in there was offline, and so it makes it look like a line. This card I doubt will get a 10. The corners, everything else is crisp, but that line will prevent it from getting a 10. Surface is so important. In fact, I pulled out another one here. This here is a Donald Driver rookie. It's a 99 Fleer Focus, and it's one of those cards, and I don't know if I can even show it to you. If you tilt it a little bit, it's like his body is, I don't know, it's like a clear coat on there. Well, what happened was I bought one, and I sent it in to get graded, and it had sweet. I looked at it. The corners were awesome. Everything was great. What I failed to look at was actually that light colored body, and there were little cracks on it that I thought were the lines on his jersey and stuff. I don't know if you guys remember, I believe it was about 94, 95. Topps had Topps embossed cards, and they started coming out with cards with like lines for the jersey lines and the creases. I thought, oh, that's kind of cool. They're doing that on these cards. I screwed up. It was wrong. So the surface was cracked. So even though the rest of it was a 9, I got it back as a 5. You talk about getting ticked off. I was very upset. But then once I looked at it, I realized it was my mistake. So surface is real important. Make sure you don't have any surface cracks. And what you'll be real surprised is that when you use this thing or your magnifying glass, if you go across the edges sometimes, you may find that you may have a chip on the surface that you didn't see. A great example of chipped surface would be, and I pulled another one out here, would be this one. As many of you guys know, I'm a huge Ahman Green fan. In fact, I was hoping they'd re-sign him for the pack. But of course, he's playing, I think, in NFL Europe or someplace. But these cards here, the NFL 98 playoff contender cards, the bottoms of these and the tops and the edges of these are horrible for cracking and chipping off. And they consider that edge, but they also consider that surface a bit. And I had sent off a couple. This one I had sent off, and I got a 9 on it. I mean, excuse me, a 7 on it. I have an 8 on it also, but it's really difficult to find them in that condition. So those are the ones that you really want to look for. Sometimes you send one off and you think you got them all. You think you got everything covered. You think you got your corners. You think you got your edges. You think you got your centering well. Then you get it back and it ends up being not what you wanted. And in fact, here is a LeBron James rookie. This is one of the rookie matrix cards. In fact, on the card, and I don't know if you can see it, it's got LeBron and Bosch on it. I just wish that the last one would have been Wade. That would have made this thing really worth some money. But it's a 9, and I'm looking at this thing trying to figure out why it would be a 9. Everything's crisp. And then I realized that it was off-centered just a little bit, and that would knocked it down to a 9. So if you're really looking to get a good grade on some cards and you're trying to decide what to send in, what should I send in, what I would suggest is go ahead and pick yourself up one of these little magnifying glasses. It doesn't have to be as handy dandy as this one is. You know, a little handheld one will be good. But I guarantee you, if you start looking closely at your corners, your edges, and your surfaces before you send them in, you'll give yourself a better idea on why or how good of a grade you're going to get on them. I know for a fact that the ones that I'm sending in here, the Rogers cards, I'm going to guess, and I am sending these in, especially with the special this month, the PSA $6 grades for September. I'm going to guess that this red one will probably get an 8 or a 9 only because of that line. Everything else is perfect. I'm going to guess that this blue one will probably get a 9 because one of the corners isn't all that great. The holofoil will probably get a 9, and I think the normal rookie one will probably get a 10. I'm guessing because it's really, really crisp and there's nothing wrong with it. I'm just guessing. I currently have all of these. I currently have the black one numbered to 25. sent off to PSA right now. It's being graded. I believe it's going to be a 10 because I used this and I didn't see one problem with it. In fact, the one I've sent off is this jersey number to 12, number 12 out of 25. And then, of course, I have the autograph version of this. So, once again, if you're going to send in cards, have this kind of in the back of your mind, even when you look at them at the card shop. How do the corners look? Edges, centering, and the surface.